Feld. Denn heute nachher und Deutschland und morgen die ganze Welt.
For a long time. It started as part of my first pitch on Sam Wilson, Captain America, and really just grew from there.
Tint or how ground level and localized they are, everybody has to kind of pull together and unite as a single force to oppose this sort of overwhelming move by Hydra that's led by the most trusted figure among them.
The place for comic book and anime reviews.
Hey there you go, welcome to Perfect Camera YouTube channel, place for all your comic book and anime reviews. And today I'm doing my review of Secret Empire issue 3. And wow, did a whole lot of stuff really happen in this issue. Like, there were quite a big few major events that kind of transpired here. And then that we kind of have learned about Steve's Hydra in this issue of Secret Empire. First thing I want to say that, like, this issue had a weird feeling mix of both depression, but with this kind of spark of hope going on throughout. And here, let me explain what I mean by that. In the beginning of the issue, we kind of get this whole thing with the mysterious Steve Rogers talking to this little girl, and the little girl pretty much ends up dying or going inside to this little mysterious water place. Before she goes, she tells Steve Rogers that he is the hope of the world needs, that he needs to survive. He needs to find his way home. That was the last thing she says. Meanwhile, going on at the same time as all that's going on, we get this whole thing with Star-Lord and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're trying to get the help of all these other alien races like the Skrulls and the Kree, to try to help them, use them to try to help protect Earth against Hydra. But they aren't having any of it. They pretty much end up getting shot off at the first thing, because the Kree doesn't really care about helping them. They just like, oh, Hydra's doing all this, well, good for them. We'll be on the team Hydra did if that's the case. And that's kind of what happens with all of that. And that was kind of like something really messed up for Star-Lord and them. And we get a little bit more with Carol Danvers as they're trying to fight off this Charlie. And they're not doing very good with that right now either. We get a little scene with Black Widow in the Red Room. And we see that all the champions are really trying to get through all of this, but they're having a lot of problems on this little program that they're trying to fight off against right now as they're training to kind of fight Hydra, and they're having quite a few problems with doing that right now. Meanwhile, Maria Hill, as we have seen, if you have reading last time, this is what I've started to kind of feel about this whole event, and how reading all these past books like Sam Wilson and Pleasant Hill have kind of helped me get a more firm understanding of this whole event, and it's helped kind of make this whole event mean more to me now that I've been reading all these tie-ins and things like that. Because this issue pretty much was a great example of that, because we see that even with all this other bad stuff happening, Shield still ain't doing a lot of great stuff right now. Maria Hill has her own little thing going on, and she has her own major plan that she has to kind of take Shield back from evil Steve. And all of it might not be that great, as we maybe learn to find out. But another big thing that happened, this is where we kind of start seeing the cracks inside the Secret Empire that Steve is building. And the fact that Namor and Black Panther ain't really having him right now. They're pushing back. They're pushing Hydra back further and further back, and we're starting to see hey, you can't influence everybody, Steve. You can't win every war you get. And I know that was really quite interesting. That kind of it's probably leading to some other big issues. I know the next Steve Rogers issue is going to be Steve and Namor kind of chatting it out. But that's going to be very interesting to kind of see how that all really goes down in the next upcoming issue. And of course, like at the end, we kind of get the fact that Punisher is now also an agent of Hydra, which wasn't the biggest shocker to me at all. Really, everything that happened that was probably like the least shocking thing that happened. Was the reveal that Punisher was in Hydra, because I mean, if you have a new government that is saying you're allowed to kill criminals, it would only make sense for a character like Punisher to want to be part of that and help do all that, help stand with the team that is allowing him to kill criminals, pretty much, over the old Shield, which was very much against that. So it makes sense that Punisher is now in Hydra. So I thought that was kind of just makes sense. But it was still kind of like a cool page to see. The other thing I want to talk about this issue though is the art change. We get both the old artists in this book and the new artists in this book. And when you have that new artist going on throughout the book, it starts to make the original artist seem a lot more. His art really turns you off a lot more now. Because before I read it, it wasn't really that noticeable that it was a bad art. I mean, it had its problems, but I kind of was like, yeah, we get over it. But here it's become a lot more noticeable now for me. It's when you have that big shift between artists who have such different styles, it really becomes a lot more noticeable, and it really pulled me out of the book really quickly. So that was one of the negatives I probably had with this issue, was the fact of the art change. It really did not help me at all. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on Secret Empire issue number 3. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about Secret Empire issue number 3, if you guys read it or not. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.